Hey filmmaker, Chung here. So is the Tilta Nucleus M still worth it? Let's actually go through the plus sides first. So the main thing with the Nucleus M is it is a proper fish unit, so focus, iris and zoom, so you can connect it with 3 motors. And you also have like all kinds of additional remotes that you can purchase. So there's all kinds of things you can connect it to. It has like the proper cables to set the record for like the Arri Alexas and Red cameras. So for more proper cinema cameras, you can actually do that. So on a professional shoot with Arri cameras, people won't really frown upon if you are using the Nucleus M because they know the brand and they know the unit, and it still has like the proper things that is needed. And also what is really great on the hand unit is that it has like a replaceable ring, so you can pre-mark all your lenses to have like the focus distances on the rings and enable you to quickly swap the rings, so you can actually have like the proper numbers with the proper lenses. And yeah, those are like the real properties on like a lot of the high-end professional focus units. And something that I really like about the Nucleus M is that it has the vibration marks. So you can actually set up marks, and when you are hitting them with the focus ring, you can feel the hand unit vibrate, so you know that you are in focus. So you can also set up multiple of those marks, and also allows you to keep your eyes more on the screen without having to look down at the numbers on the focus marks or the focus ring. And then you also have like the distance of the connectivity, and it can go up to 350 meters, which is quite a long distance, and quite rarely you will do that, and especially a lot of the camera or the video transmitters don't even do that great at that long distance. So most of the time you won't be standing that far away anyways. But for more extreme conditions, especially if you need to have a connection through a wall, or especially I have tried sitting inside of a chase car while in the other car they're filming, and we had like good connection with the remote while actually the tarot deck was already losing connections. So it was actually doing like really well with those kind of connections. However, there of course are drawbacks. So personally, I've done I think like 10 projects with the Nucleus M, and 7 out of them had like issues. So the main biggest issue first is that it just wouldn't want to calibrate. So we had like everything set up, numbers on the screens are correct, you can change the focus knob and you see numbers changing on the focus motor, like everything is connected correctly. But once you hit calibrate on the motor or calibrate on the remote, it would just not move the focus motor and disconnect with the remote. So even resetting everything, turning everything on and off for several times just wouldn't fix this issue. This issue seems to be like a location issue or something that is around the location that is causing this issue, because every time like we go back to the rental house, somehow it would directly work there, but while we're on location it would just not want to connect at all. This is something that you really need to look out for if you are renting the Nucleus M, that you also have at least some other brands remote, even like a simple remote that is really reliable, to have that with you as a first AC, so you can actually have something to focus with. The other issues we had that is less extreme, that you can at least still work with. First one is the knob being calibrated wrongly. I don't know if the knob can actually sometimes just automatically change like this, but like there is a tutorial on the Tilta website to recalibrate the knob. So basically what happens is that the knob is not in sync with the motor, and if you hit like almost another end, or if it's kind of thinks it's on the other end, it would do like a big spin back and then rotate further. There is like a something in the settings menu that you can recalibrate the knob to fix this issue. So this is at least fixable. And then another thing is filming in the cold. So right now we're still like in a pretty cold period in the Netherlands. We had an issue where the knob was really having like quite a lot of friction. Well, beforehand we did do a test with the remote. We did full test before just to know that everything works. And it was just working smoothly and everything until we went outside on the actual filming day. Then I could feel like the focus knob had like a lot of friction. It really made it difficult for me to work, especially for the shots where the actor was walking towards me. I couldn't focus fast enough because I'm just working against the friction, and instead of that I could move it much quicker to get to the correct focus point. So yeah, that is also a downside, especially if you are living in a location that's always cold. Then I really don't recommend getting the Nucleus M because of this friction. It's not worth it. Another issue is a little bit of the, that you can't have the units on for too long. I've had it that sometimes it would just suddenly disconnect if you had like the remote and the motors on for like a certain amount of hours. It would just suddenly disconnect and not want to connect again. The fix for this is just to turn off the remote and turn off the motor and then turn them back on again, and then they would just reconnect and just work normally again. So this is something just to have to look out, not to go beyond certain amount of hours, or just at time to time to turn them off and on again, just to make sure that they would work. Another issue is a little bit of design flaw, because the other thing is I kinda don't like that the button is on the bottom of, or close to the bottom of the remote, because sometimes I have like it in a special focus station, and then when I'm holding the rig with the remote against my chest, sometimes my jacket or my chest just pushes the on and off button and turns off the whole remote, which is not something that you want to happen while you're mid-shot. So this is something, it's a little bit annoying with their design, that I need to hold it in a specific way to avoid pressing the on and off button, while they could have placed the button at a more or a less easier to press area on the remote itself. And another thing is that you kind of need to also look out for the batteries. So even though it is advertised as 10 hours of battery life, it's more or less 3 to 4 hours more, especially because you don't really get like proper batteries with the units that you buy. And sometimes like the shops will give you batteries that are really low end or unmarked batteries. So you might need to actually look out for if you can find like more properly branded batteries that would actually last the 10 hours. However, yeah, most of the time I do suggest buying multiple batteries, so you at least have some backup batteries, or if you are running out of batteries, that you can actually also recharge some extra batteries while you're working. Yeah, those are things that you have to look out for, while there are other kind of focus units that don't have these kind of problems and are actually much more reliable. But the other major issue might be is that the Tilta Nucleus M is actually quite old, and it might be time for Tilta to replace it with a new version. So Tilta already teased us with like the new Nano 2, which is also counted to be a full fish unit, but also enables you to change settings on the cameras. However, it's unsure till what kind of cameras it can do that, like if it can also do that with like pro cinema cameras, or if it's just more aimed for like mirrorless cameras. But there's also a high possibility that Tilta would release a Tilta Nucleus M, so a more professional version of it for like professional cinema cameras. So Right now there isn't a lot of like rumors or things that is talking about it, but there is a likelihood that this year during the NAB that they would be releasing these kinds of things. If you have anything to add about the Tilta Nucleus M, make sure to comment it here below, but also make sure to be subscribed if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.